What if the freshest herbs in your kitchen could come from just a few containers sitting outside your door? For centuries, people have believed that growing food required large gardens, fertile land, and endless hours of work. Yet some of the most useful herbs in history have always thrived in surprisingly small spaces. From ancient Mediterranean villages to modern city apartments, these plants have followed humanity through generations, quietly providing flavor, fragrance, and remarkable versatility. Today, as more people search for simple ways to grow their own food, a forgotten truth is making a comeback. Some herbs don't just survive in containers, they actually flourish in them. With the right conditions, they can grow faster than many gardeners expect, producing abundant harvests from pots, buckets, window boxes, and patio containers. This changes everything. Ancient civilizations understood the value of these plants long before modern science began studying them. The Greeks cultivated aromatic herbs for cooking and wellness. The Romans carried favorite herbs across vast territories. Throughout history, families depended on these plants not only for flavor, but also for preservation, comfort, and daily living. What is fascinating is that modern research continues to confirm why so many of these herbs became household staples in the first place. But here's where things become even more interesting. Not all herbs grow at the same speed. Some seem to take their time, while others burst from the soil with astonishing energy, quickly filling containers with vibrant leaves and powerful aromas. A few can transform an empty pot into a lush harvest in a surprisingly short period. And among the 9 herbs we're about to explore, several possess characteristics that have made them favorites among gardeners for generations. As we move through this journey, you'll discover why certain herbs are perfect for beginners, why others have earned legendary reputations in kitchens around the world, and which container growing secrets can dramatically improve their performance. Along the way, you'll also encounter a surprising herb that many gardeners underestimate until they witness its explosive growth for themselves. We'll reveal that remarkable plant later in the story. And if you think the most impressive herb appears near the beginning of this list, think again. The herb featured in our final topic has a history and growing ability that surprises even experienced gardeners. Few people realize just how valuable it can become once established in the right container. So if you enjoy practical gardening wisdom, fascinating historical discoveries, and simple ways to grow more food at home, stay with us until the end. Each herb reveals a different piece of a much larger story, one that may completely change how you look at container gardening forever. And this is only the beginning. What if one of the easiest plants to grow at home could also be one of the most rewarding? For countless gardeners across the United States, basil is often the first herb they successfully grow, and for good reason. This vibrant green plant has earned a reputation not only for its incredible flavor, but also for its remarkable ability to thrive in containers. Whether it's sitting on a sunny apartment balcony in New York, a backyard patio in Texas, or a kitchen windowsill in California, basil continues to prove that you don't need a large garden to enjoy a steady harvest of fresh herbs. For thousands of years, basil has traveled alongside human civilization. Ancient cultures valued it for its fragrance, culinary uses, and symbolic importance. In some regions, it was considered a plant of prosperity and good fortune. As trade routes expanded and culinary traditions evolved, basil found its way into kitchens around the world. Today, it remains one of America's favorite herbs, appearing in everything from homemade pizzas and pasta sauces to fresh salads and sandwiches. This changes everything. One of the reasons basil has become so popular among home gardeners is its speed. Unlike many plants that seem to take forever to establish themselves, basil often rewards gardeners quickly. Under warm conditions with plenty of sunlight, seedlings can grow at an impressive pace. In just a few weeks, tiny sprouts can transform into lush plants covered with aromatic leaves. That rapid progress creates excitement and encourages even beginners to keep growing. Container gardening actually offers several advantages for basil. A pot allows gardeners to control soil quality, moisture levels, and drainage more effectively than many traditional garden beds. Because basil loves warmth, containers can also help maintain the slightly higher soil temperatures the plant enjoys. The result is often faster growth and healthier foliage. Modern gardening experts frequently recommend harvesting basil regularly, and there is a fascinating reason behind that advice. When gardeners pinch off the growing tips, the plant responds by producing additional branches. Instead of growing tall and thin, it becomes fuller and bushier. More branches mean more leaves, and more leaves mean larger harvests throughout the season. Few people realize how powerful this simple technique can be. The aroma of basil is another reason for its lasting popularity. On a warm summer afternoon, brushing against a healthy basil plant releases a fragrance that instantly fills the air. That unmistakable scent has become associated with home cooking, family meals, and fresh ingredients. For many people, the smell alone is enough to inspire them to grow it year after year. Science helps explain some of basil's success. The plant naturally produces aromatic compounds that contribute to its distinctive flavor and scent. These compounds evolved as part of the plant's survival strategy, but humans discovered that they also make food taste better. What began as a natural defense mechanism became one of the most cherished flavors in culinary history. Now pause for a second. Imagine stepping outside your door, picking a handful of fresh basil leaves, and immediately adding them to dinner. No trip to the store, no plastic packaging, just fresh herbs grown a few feet away. That simple experience is one of the reasons basil continues to attract new gardeners every year. But despite all of basil's advantages, the next herb on our list grows with an entirely different level of energy. In fact, many gardeners quickly learn that if they don't keep it contained, it may try to take over every available space around it. And that surprising characteristic is exactly what makes it so fascinating. Have you ever planted something so vigorous that it seemed determined to grow no matter what stood in its way? That is the fascinating story of mint. While many herbs require patience before they begin producing noticeable results, mint often surprises gardeners with its incredible energy and speed. Give it a container, a little sunlight, and regular watering, and it can quickly reward you with an abundance of fresh green leaves. For centuries, mint has been valued by civilizations around the world. Ancient cultures appreciated its refreshing aroma, distinctive flavor, and remarkable reliability. Long before modern gardening methods existed, people recognized that mint was one of those rare plants that consistently delivered results. Whether grown near homes, marketplaces, or small family gardens, it became a trusted companion for generations. This changes everything. Today, mint remains one of the most popular herbs in the United States. It appears in herbal teas, refreshing lemonades, desserts, fruit dishes, and countless homemade recipes. During warm summer months, many American gardeners enjoy stepping onto their patios or balconies and harvesting fresh mint directly from containers just moments before using it. One of the reasons mint performs so well in containers is actually the same reason experienced gardeners recommend growing it that way. Mint loves to spread. In traditional garden beds, it can quickly expand beyond its original space through underground runners. Many gardeners discover this only after watching it gradually take over nearby planting areas. A container allows people to enjoy its rapid growth while keeping it under control. The speed of mint's development is one of its greatest advantages. New gardeners often become discouraged when plants take too long to show progress. Mint provides the opposite experience. Healthy plants can produce continuous new growth throughout the season, creating a rewarding sense of momentum that keeps people excited about gardening. Its fragrance is equally impressive. On a warm afternoon, simply brushing against the leaves releases a cool, refreshing scent into the air. It is one of the most recognizable herbal aromas in the world, instantly bringing a feeling of freshness that has captivated people for centuries. Few people still know this. Regular harvesting often encourages mint to become even fuller and more productive. Instead of weakening the plant, thoughtful trimming can stimulate additional growth. The result is a container that seems to become more vibrant with each harvest. If you enjoy discovering simple plants that deliver extraordinary results, make sure you're following along, because some of the herbs coming next may surprise you even more. Yet despite mint's incredible reputation, the next herb on our list has quietly earned its place in millions of American kitchens through a completely different strength: consistency. And its story proves that sometimes the most dependable plants become the most valuable of all. What if one of the most overlooked herbs in the kitchen was actually one of the most useful plants you could grow in a container? Parsley rarely receives the same attention as basil or mint, yet for generations it has quietly played an essential role in cooking and home gardening. Many people see it as a simple garnish, but those who grow it quickly discover that parsley offers far more than decoration. For centuries, parsley has been cultivated across Europe, the Mediterranean, and eventually North America. Ancient societies valued it for its versatility and reliability. Unlike herbs that were limited to specific dishes, parsley found its way into countless recipes and traditions. As settlers brought seeds and gardening knowledge to the New World, parsley became a staple in household gardens, where it remained for generations. This changes everything. Today, parsley is one of the most commonly used herbs in the United States. It appears in soups, sauces, salads, marinades, and countless family recipes. Walk through almost any American grocery store, and you'll find fresh parsley available year-round. Yet many gardeners prefer growing their own, because container-grown parsley often delivers fresher flavor and continuous harvests throughout the season. One of parsley's greatest strengths is its adaptability. While some herbs demand very specific conditions, parsley is remarkably flexible. It performs well in containers, raised beds, and small garden spaces. With adequate sunlight and consistent watering, it develops into a productive plant that can supply fresh leaves for months. Unlike mint, which tends to grow aggressively, parsley grows in a more controlled and manageable way. This makes it especially appealing for people with limited gardening experience. New gardeners often appreciate how predictable the plant can be. It grows steadily, responds well to care, and rewards patience with an abundant supply of usable foliage. The history of parsley contains an interesting lesson. For many years, it was valued not only for culinary purposes, but also because families appreciated having fresh herbs available close to home. Before refrigeration and modern food distribution, herbs added freshness and flavor to everyday meals. A simple container of parsley could transform ordinary ingredients into something far more enjoyable. Modern science has helped explain why parsley became such a lasting favorite. The plant contains naturally occurring compounds that contribute to its distinctive taste and aroma. These characteristics make it an ideal complement to many foods without overwhelming other flavors. It enhances rather than dominates, which is one reason it remains so widely used. Now, pause for a second. Imagine having a container that continues producing fresh greenery long after other herbs have slowed down. That consistency is one of parsley's greatest advantages. While it may not grow as explosively as mint, its dependable nature makes it one of the most valuable herbs a gardener can cultivate. Another fascinating aspect of parsley is how well it responds to harvesting. Gardeners who regularly remove the outer stems often encourage continued production from the center of the plant. This simple practice helps maintain growth and keeps the herb productive throughout much of the season. Few people realize how much additional harvest they can achieve through proper picking techniques. Despite its humble appearance, parsley represents something larger. It proves that not every valuable plant needs dramatic colors, exotic origins, or extraordinary claims. Sometimes reliability itself becomes the greatest advantage. A healthy container of parsley can provide steady harvests for months while requiring relatively little space. But the next herb on our list offers something completely different. It has become so popular in the United States that entire cuisines depend on its unmistakable flavor. Some people love it instantly, while others find it surprisingly intense. Either way, nobody forgets it once they've tasted it. Have you ever tasted an herb that people seem to either love or dislike instantly? That is the unique story of cilantro. Few herbs create stronger opinions, yet its popularity across the United States continues to grow every year. Thanks to the enormous influence of Mexican, Tex-Mex, and Latin American cuisine, cilantro has become a staple in millions of American kitchens. For centuries, cilantro traveled through trade routes connecting continents and cultures. Ancient civilizations cultivated it, long before modern agriculture existed. Over time, its bright flavor found a place in countless recipes, eventually becoming one of the most recognizable herbs in the world. Unlike some herbs that require months of patience, cilantro grows surprisingly fast. In containers, gardeners can often begin harvesting leaves within weeks. This rapid development makes it particularly appealing to beginners. Watching fresh green leaves appear so quickly creates excitement and confidence. This changes everything. One of cilantro's biggest advantages is its productivity. With proper sunlight and regular watering, it can provide multiple harvests during its growing cycle. Many gardeners choose succession planting, sowing new seeds every few weeks to ensure a continuous supply. Today, cilantro appears everywhere in America. It's sprinkled over tacos, mixed into fresh salsa, blended into sauces and used in countless restaurant dishes. Its unmistakable flavor has become deeply connected to modern American food culture. Yet cilantro holds a secret. Because it grows quickly, it also matures quickly. Warm temperatures can encourage it to flower sooner than expected. Experienced gardeners know that planting new containers regularly helps maintain a steady harvest throughout the season. But as impressive as cilantro may be, the next herb proves that sometimes the simplest plants become household favorites for generations. Imagine a herb so small and unassuming that many people overlook it completely, yet so useful that generations of gardeners have continued growing it year after year. That herb is chives. At first glance, its slender green leaves may not seem particularly impressive. It doesn't produce large dramatic foliage like basil, nor does it spread aggressively like mint. But beneath its simple appearance lies one of the most practical and rewarding herbs a container gardener can grow. For centuries, chives have been cultivated across Europe and Asia, earning a reputation for reliability and versatility. Long before modern supermarkets made fresh ingredients available year-round, families relied on herbs like chives to bring flavor to everyday meals. Its mild onion-like taste offered something unique. Unlike onions, which could be strong and overpowering, chives added a gentle burst of flavor that complemented food without dominating it. This changes everything. As gardening traditions spread to North America, chives quickly found a home in household gardens. Their adaptability made them especially valuable. Whether grown in large backyard plots or small kitchen gardens, they consistently provided fresh harvests with very little effort. Today, they remain one of the most popular herbs among American gardeners who want something productive, easy to manage, and useful in countless recipes. One of the reasons chives thrive in containers is their compact growth habit. They do not require large amounts of space, making them perfect for patios, balconies, windowsills, and small urban gardens. A single container can produce an impressive amount of usable foliage throughout the growing season. For people with limited gardening space, that efficiency is a major advantage. What makes chives particularly rewarding is how quickly they recover after harvesting. Gardeners can snip mature leaves whenever needed, and new growth often appears soon afterward. This cycle can continue again and again, providing a steady supply of fresh herbs for months. Few plants offer such a generous return for so little maintenance. Few people still know this. Chives are actually part of the allium family, the same group that includes onions, garlic, and leeks, yet their flavor remains much milder and more versatile. This makes them ideal for sprinkling over baked potatoes, mixing into scrambled eggs, adding to soups, or finishing fresh salads. Their ability to enhance food without overwhelming it is one of the reasons they have remained popular for generations. Now pause for a second. Imagine stepping outside just before dinner, cutting a handful of fresh chives from a container and adding them directly to your meal. No complicated preparation, no special equipment, just a fresh harvest ready in seconds. That simple convenience is exactly why so many gardeners continue growing chives year after year. Although chives may not be the most dramatic herb on this list, they prove that sometimes the most valuable plants are the ones that quietly deliver consistent results. Their speed, reliability, and ease of growth make them a true favorite among container gardeners. But the next herb introduces something entirely different. Delicate in appearance yet surprisingly vigorous, it has become famous across America for a very unexpected reason, and its rapid growth may surprise you. Picture a delicate-looking herb capable of reaching impressive heights in a surprisingly short time. That is dill. Despite its feathery appearance, dill possesses remarkable energy once established. For generations, dill has been associated with preservation and flavor. Long before refrigerators existed, people relied on herbs to enhance food and extend culinary traditions. Dill became especially famous for its connection to pickling. This changes everything. In the United States, dill is practically synonymous with pickles. Its distinctive flavor helped create one of America's most beloved foods. Yet many people never realize how easy it is to grow. Dill germinates quickly and often develops faster than expected. Within weeks, gardeners can watch delicate stems transform into elegant plants swaying in the breeze. Modern gardeners appreciate dill because it performs exceptionally well in containers. Deep pots allow its roots to develop while keeping the plant manageable. With adequate sunlight, growth can be surprisingly rapid. This is where things get strange. Although dill appears delicate, it demonstrates surprising resilience. It adapts well to different environments and often rewards gardeners with abundant foliage. But the next herb may be even more recognizable because its flavor has become inseparable from some of the world's most popular foods. What if one of the most familiar flavors in America came from a plant that thrives in a simple container? Most people recognize oregano the moment they taste it, even if they cannot immediately identify the herb itself. Its distinctive aroma has become deeply connected to some of the world's most beloved foods, especially pizza, pasta sauces, and countless Italian-inspired dishes. Yet behind that familiar flavor lies a fascinating story of survival, adaptability, and remarkable growth that has allowed oregano to remain a favorite among gardeners for centuries. Long before oregano became a staple in American kitchens, it was highly valued throughout the Mediterranean region. Ancient civilizations cultivated it on rocky hillsides where many other plants struggled to survive. The herb developed a reputation for toughness, thriving in conditions that would challenge less resilient species. Generations of farmers appreciated its reliability, while cooks prized its ability to transform simple meals into something far more memorable. This changes everything. When immigrants brought traditional recipes to the United States, oregano traveled with them. Over time, the herb became deeply woven into American food culture. As pizza gained popularity throughout the 20th century, oregano emerged as one of its defining flavors. Today, millions of people encounter oregano regularly, often without realizing how important it has become in everyday cooking. What makes oregano especially attractive for container gardening is its natural adaptability. Unlike plants that require constant attention, oregano often performs best when allowed a degree of independence. A container with good drainage, moderate watering, and plenty of sunlight is often all it needs to flourish. Once established, it develops into a productive herb capable of providing harvest after harvest throughout the growing season. Few people still know this. In its native environment, oregano learned to survive periods of dryness. That survival strategy makes it particularly well suited to container cultivation. While many herbs quickly show signs of stress when conditions become less than perfect, oregano frequently continues growing with surprising determination. This resilience explains why experienced gardeners often recommend it to beginners who are still learning the fundamentals of herb gardening. The plant's growth habit is another reason for its popularity. As oregano matures, it gradually spreads outward, filling containers with dense clusters of aromatic foliage. Each harvest encourages additional growth, creating a cycle that can continue for months. Gardeners who regularly trim the stems often discover that the plant becomes even fuller over time. Now pause for a second. Imagine walking onto your patio on a warm summer evening. A gentle breeze passes through your containers, releasing the unmistakable fragrance of fresh oregano into the air. Suddenly, the herb is no longer just an ingredient. It becomes part of the entire gardening experience. That powerful aroma has captivated people for generations, which helps explain why oregano has never fallen out of favor. Modern science has also provided insight into oregano's lasting appeal. The aromatic compounds responsible for its fragrance and flavor evolved as part of the plant's natural defense system. What began as a survival mechanism eventually became one of the most recognizable culinary characteristics in the world. Ancient farmers could not have known the chemistry behind it, but they certainly recognized its value. This is where things get interesting. Despite its association with famous dishes, oregano is often underestimated in the garden. Many people view it simply as a seasoning, yet experienced gardeners understand that it is one of the most dependable herbs they can grow. Its combination of speed, resilience, productivity, and flavor makes it a true container gardening champion. But while oregano has earned its reputation through toughness and versatility, the next herb on our list possesses a different kind of strength. It has survived centuries of cultivation, adapted to countless environments, and quietly become one of the most reliable herbs a gardener can grow. And its story may be even more impressive. Imagine a plant so resilient that it has survived centuries of cultivation, while remaining relevant in modern kitchens. That plant is thyme. Throughout history, thyme accompanied travelers, cooks, and gardeners across continents. Ancient societies valued it for its fragrance and practicality, while modern households continue to appreciate its versatility. This changes everything. Unlike herbs that demand constant attention, thyme often performs best when gardeners avoid overcomplicating things. It thrives in containers with good drainage and rewards patience with steady growth. American cooks frequently use thyme in roasted meats, soups, stews, and comfort foods. Its subtle yet distinctive flavor enhances dishes without overwhelming them. Few herbs combine elegance and toughness so effectively. Despite its delicate appearance, thyme tolerates conditions that challenge many other plants. Before we continue, consider this. Sometimes the most valuable herbs are not the fastest growing or the most dramatic. Sometimes they are simply the most reliable. Thyme embodies that principle perfectly, yet our final herb brings together speed, fragrance, history, and surprising versatility in a way that few gardeners expect. What if one of the fastest growing herbs in containers also produced a scent capable of transforming an entire garden space? That is the remarkable story of lemon balm. For centuries, lemon balm has been cherished for its refreshing citrus-like fragrance. Ancient gardeners cultivated it because they appreciated both its aroma and its vigorous growth. Even today, its popularity continues to expand among home gardeners. This changes everything. Unlike many herbs that grow cautiously, lemon balm often develops with impressive speed. Given sunlight, water, and a suitable container, it can quickly become lush and productive. American gardeners frequently use lemon balm for herbal teas, garden fragrance, and fresh harvests. Simply brushing against the leaves releases a bright lemon scent that many people find instantly appealing. Few people still know this. The fragrance that makes lemon balm famous is part of the plant's natural defense strategy. What evolved for survival became one of the reasons humans value it so highly. Looking back at all 9 herbs, a fascinating pattern emerges. None require vast amounts of land, none demand expert-level gardening skills, yet each has played an important role in kitchens, gardens, and households for generations. From basil's explosive growth to mint's unstoppable energy, from parsley's reliability to lemon balm's fragrance, these herbs demonstrate a powerful truth. Extraordinary harvests can come from surprisingly small spaces. The past understood this lesson well. Modern gardeners are simply rediscovering it, and perhaps that is the real secret of container gardening. It is not about growing more plants. It is about realizing how much abundance can emerge from a single pot. If you've grown any of these herbs before, which one delivered the best results for you? Share your experience and join the conversation. And this is only the beginning.